Hey guys, before we get to the video, for more tips and tricks in the heating and air industry, please click that subscribe button. Thank you.
Hey guys, Josh for Griffin Air, serving the Middle Peninsula and the northern neck of Virginia, and wanted to do a video because I get one question more than any other question, it seems like. I get this question on my Facebook and my videos and everywhere, and that is, what is the best brand? Who's good, who's not? And one common trend that you'll see across our industry is most heating and air guys can just about all agree that the brand matters less than who installs it. So the installation or who installs it matters more than what brand you select. Of course, we all have our preferences. We may disagree on who's the best, but ultimately we can all agree that usually the installer matters more than the brand that they install. And so the question becomes, I've actually gotten this question, what does that mean? What does it mean to have a bad installer versus a good installer? And that's what this video is going to cover. In fact, if you found this video, we're going to do a series of videos where we're going to talk about bad installations, bad installers, and some examples that you as the homeowner can sniff out and find if you're getting a good installation or not. So check out this video, but check out the whole entire series. And our goal is to arm you, to help you figure out if you're getting a good installation or not. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, another video. Wanted to piggyback off of some of our others and talk real quick. We see all the time where installers, it's one of my biggest pet peeves where they don't read the instructions. And you might say, well, if they're pros and they've done this before, they shouldn't have to read the instructions. And I'm here to tell you that I've installed hundreds, if not thousands, of heating and air systems, and I almost read the instructions every single time. The only times I can think of that maybe I don't pull out the instructions is if I'm installing house after house after house and they're all the same size, they're all going to get the same dip switch settings, or everything's gonna, all the airflow or everything's gonna get set the same, and I may not need to pull out the instruction booklet. But other than that, I always pull out the instruction books. I want to see if anything new, anything jumps out at me. If nothing else, skim through there. I want to make sure that the airflow is set properly. There's no way your installer has all that in his head to know exactly, okay, well, if I do my dip switches this way and it's a 3-ton system versus a 2-ton system that I installed last week and I need it to be on this or that. You need to pull out the instructions for that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't care how experienced you are, you should be pulling out the instructions. Another thing the instructions might cover is clearances around the unit. Not all brands and not all products are the same. The clearance requirements for that system, and that'll be in the instructions. Another thing might be just different quirks of the system. We have systems that, you know, they'll say to set the airflow this way or that way, and then you install the same exact system but in a different application, or maybe it was with a heat pump and now it's a straight AC, or whatever the case is, but just different quirks with those systems, and you're not going to know if there's a problem unless you read the instructions. Setting the defrost time is another one. Removing stuff. We had a system not that long ago that another company installed the system, and in big bold letters in the instruction manual, it said to pull this bumper out of the indoor fan motor before you turn it on. They didn't do that, and it actually ruined the fan wheel. And that all would have been avoided had somebody just taken a moment, take a deep breath, maybe on your lunch break, and let's just flip through those instructions real quick. And the last thing I'll say is, I was installing a system years ago. I called my supplier and said, hey, look, you know, I've got this air handler. It's in a downflow orientation. I flipped the coil and I did everything the instructions said, but the instructions are now saying I need what's called a downflow kit. And really it wasn't a lot to it. It was just, the kit involves insulating the drain pan and then installing this baffle to push the air across the coil. And it's not that big a deal, but the point was, when I called the supplier, he's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I said, well, you know, the instructions say if you're going to be downflow here, I need a downflow kit. And the supplier said he had multiple companies buying systems from him every week, and he had never had a company ask him for a downflow kit. So that just told me, again, they're not reading the instructions and they are installing equipment in your homes. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.
The last thing I'll say is if you're in the market for a new heating and air system and you're in Virginia in the Middle Peninsula or the Northern Neck, give Griffin Air a call. We'll give you a free estimate and the best warranty in the area. But if you're not in our coverage area, check out my new website. I've even got a little banner up here, newhvacguide.com. Check out that site because we've put so much information on there. It's as if I wrote a book telling folks, hey, here's the good and the bad. Avoid this or that. I've even got a whole page called no-nos, things to stay away from. And so before you spend thousands, check out that website. And finally, for more tips and tricks in the heating and air industry, click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.